Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. I am here in Indianapolis at the Combine and just kind of wrapping up the first day. A lot of head coaches spoke today, a lot of GMs spoke today, so the rest of them will go tomorrow. And that includes John Lynch, who does not speak until about 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Pacific Time. So he's going to go to the podium, and then we'll get a sidebar with him after he's away from the podium, or it will be just 49ers local beat writers. So we'll kind of dive deep into what's going on with the 49ers, and that'll be tomorrow, Wednesday. So today, a bunch of different coordinators and coaches spoke, and that includes a lot that have been on the 49ers staff before. Mike McDaniel spoke today, Adam Peters, and DeMeco Ryans. So we were able to ask them a couple of questions while they were up at the podium. And as you know, Kyle Shanahan is not going to be at the Combine. He hasn't been since, I think, pre-COVID was the last time he was here. He generally is on the Zoom meetings when he's with when they are with the players in those formal meetings. Obviously not at the train station. I don't think they can film those, but regardless, John Lynch will talk to us tomorrow. We did ask Mike McDaniel's, Matt Maiocco actually, asked Mike McDaniel's, what is it that you get out of being here at the Combine? And he said, for me, this is where I get to see players and get them face to face and kind of get the true identity of who they are. So sometimes I think with especially in 2020 when it was COVID, they didn't get to meet guys face to face. I think that had an impact on the players that they drafted. So, Mike McDaniel is a guy who believes that he wants to be in the room. He gets to know, who loves football, what is their why. And that's one of the reasons that he likes to be at the Combine. Same with DeMeco Ryans. He said, hey, everybody's got their own method. I like to be here. I like to know what guys, personality is like in the room. So that's kind of one of the reasons. But Kyle Shanahan is adamant that he can get more work done grinding the film on the prospects that are coming out while he's in Santa Clara or in California. So it's worked for him in the past. You look at the 2024 draft class, it was pretty good. Almost every one of those draft picks played in some aspect, contributed on the field in 2024. So, I think that his involvement and what he does is obviously valuable to the scouting department. Now, for those of you who think that Kyle Shanahan is out of personnel decisions, you are very wrong. Kyle Shanahan is involved in every aspect, and Kyle Shanahan doesn't do anything without John Lynch, and John Lynch doesn't do anything decision-wise without Kyle Shanahan. So those two really work well together. I did have a chance to ask DeMeco Ryans. This was kind of one of the things I really wanted to ask him, what does he see from the 49ers defense, and how is Robert Saleh's return going to affect how they play next year? And this is what I posted the whole story on NBC Sports Bay Area. But this is what he said. Some players he's worked with before, so he has a lot of instant credibility when he steps into the building. He's also one of the smartest coaches I've ever been around, and he knows how to put guys in the position to be successful. So this is what DeMeco Ryans is saying about Robert Saleh's return to the Bay Area. He is a really good teacher, so I think fundamentally they're going to be more sound, eliminate some of the big plays. He's going to be a stickler for the details and techniques. I think right there you've got good players. It's a matter of getting everybody on the same page. I think you'll see instant improvement with Saleh. So I asked him also about, the energy that both he, DeMeco Ryans, and Robert Saleh had on the field. And that was missing in the last 2 years with Steve Wilkes and Nick Sorensen. We all know the Giants. DeMeco Ryans didn't throw them under the bus. He said, hey, that's the personality of DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh. That isn't always the case. You can still deliver the same message to the team without being like that. Vic Fangio, who's the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator, is not like that. And yet he has the best defense in the league this year. So I get it. It can be done both ways, but I think the 49ers defense really feeds off the energy, and it goes it's a cyclical thing between DeMeco, Robert Saleh, and the defense. So I do think that also there is an instant improvement with Saleh on the field, but also good to hear from DeMeco Ryans believing the same thing. I also asked DeMeco Ryans, hey, is there interest in Deebo Samuel? And he said, hey, always interested in good players. And Deebo Samuel is a good player. Matt Barrows from The Athletic actually asked that question. I was there ready to ask another question to DeMeco, so I'll give Matt Barrows credit of that question. He also asked Adam Peters that question, and Adam Peters said, no comment, he's on another team. Matt Barrows followed up and said, hey, but he's been given permission to talk to other teams. Like, that's my answer. No comment. He's on another team. So that is the story here from Indianapolis on Tuesday. We'll get to talk to John Lynch on Wednesday and see, is there interest in Deebo Samuel from other teams? I'm sure there is, but we'll get a little bit more details on that tomorrow. More coming to you. Definitely check out the 49ers Talk latest episode that is dropping now, which is Tuesday afternoon. We spoke to Greg Cosell, and he had a lot of insight about the 49ers 2024 season. He actually is a huge believer that the offensive line took a huge downturn and did not play well. But he also said Christian McCaffrey not being healthy, getting the ball out of the backfield does also make a huge difference. So kind of two-part. He believes that Brock Purdy has the talent and the ability to make the team successful, but the offensive line didn't help him out. And then I asked him about Christian McCaffrey not being healthy. He's like, well, yeah, there is that philosophy also. The offensive line doesn't make the running back good as much as the running back makes the offensive line look good. So tune in to the 49ers Talk podcast. Greg Cosell with Matt Maiocco and myself. Check that out, and we'll have more coming to you from Indianapolis at the NFL Scouting Combine soon this week. All right. Hope you guys are all well. And thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And again, leave me notes on who you'd like me to chat with. Here, all the prospects will be having their own availability, and we'll get some videos up of that ASAP. Bye.